trespass in the lair of Eris. Show yourself. Well, well, well. It's been some time since a human was foolish enough to enter my den. I'd almost forgotten how tiny you are. Are you after my treasure, little human? It's much farther in the cave, and I assure you, you'll die before you lay your eyes on it. No. Why are you here then? Don't tell me you want me to kill you. I'd be happy to oblige, but it wouldn't leave much to bury. You've come to slay me. Do you know who I am? I am Eris, the bane of man, she who turns the deserts to glass. I've seen the rise and fall of empires, brought kingdoms to their knees, amassed more wealth and knowledge than your kind could even comprehend. You think any human can slay me, let alone a little whelp like you? I can't tell if you're courageous or foolish. Perhaps you're both. Tell me, before I turn you to ash, why are you here to kill me? What could possibly drive you to run headlong towards your own demise? I've burned down plenty of homes over the years, little human. You're going to have to be more specific. Yes. I remember that village. I didn't think anyone survived. I was very thorough. I fly over it every now and again, and not even the grass has grown back. You hid in the cellars. I'm surprised you sought me out of your own accord then. Surely you understand how fortunate you are to escape me the first time. No matter. This is good. You've given me an opportunity to finish the job. I'm grateful, human. Allow me to thank you with a quick death. Is that the best you can do? You said you were here to kill me. I've gotten worse cuts turning over in my sleep. Pathetic. Do you know how many humans have tried to slay me over the years? Soldiers, knights, heroes that had slain half a dozen dragons before me. All of them better fighters than you, and all of them left as nothing but bones and ash on the floor of my cave. What hope do you have, little human? You with your little weapons. What chance do you have in the face of a dragon like me? It's bad enough that you barged into my lair. It's bad enough you dared to think you could slay me. But you couldn't even be a proper challenge after having years to prepare yourself. All you are is pathetic. Any last words before I send you to join your family? An enchanted chain to bind my jaw? Not a bad trick, human. You even managed to land more than a scratch on me. I hope that wasn't your last trick, though. If it was, then you haven't delayed your death for long. So you're hiding? Hiding like you did when I razed your village to the ground? Is that all you know how to do? You may as well come out. There's nowhere in this cave you can't hide from me. If you're going to die, die fighting. Surely it's better to die like a warrior than a coward. There you are. You wretched little creature. I'm going to... What finally awake, are you? Don't move too much. I'm not as skilled in human medicine as some, but I'm fairly certain you have some broken bones. Don't you recognize me? You were trying to kill me not too long ago. Not to mention, I have yet to see humans that have wings and horns. How? Magic, of course. Although I understand your surprise, not many dragons can take a human form. Not many dragons reach the level where they can use magic to begin with. And something as complex as self-transmutation takes decades of study. It's no trouble for me, though. I chose this form because it's easier to talk to you when I'm smaller. Not that I need to explain myself to a human. That being said, you're different from other humans. You're much cleverer than I expected. You tied a chunk of lead to that arrow because you knew the heat from my throat would melt it. You were hoping it would either choke me or buy you enough time to slit my throat. You might have stood a chance if you'd bound my mouth with that chain after, or if you were better with a sword. But even if both of those were true, you still wouldn't have won. Even a clever human like you is nothing compared to me. I told you not to move too much. You'll only injure yourself further. Ugh! If you're going to be stubborn, then so be it. That's a useful chain you brought with you. I hope it doesn't dig in too much. I admire your dedication to avenging your home, but you can't do it like this. Are you really going to throw your life away for them? Do you know why I burned your village down? It's because your leader got it into his little head that he could take my horde from me. He came to my cave pretending to offer tribute and left me a cow carcass full of poison. I could taste it as soon as I bit into the wretched thing. I would have been content with just your leader's head, but when I grabbed him, he begged and pleaded for his life. He said he'd give me anything, if only I'd let him live. It was shameful, really. He cried like a child. I took him up on his offer and burned his village to the ground. I had him in my claws the whole time. He got to see everyone he was supposed to lead and protect die a fiery death. If he told me to stop, even once, I would have flown away and killed him instead. I would have spared whoever was left standing. But he didn't say a word. He just watched. If it's any comfort, I killed him shortly after. Worthless cowards like him shouldn't be allowed to live. Which brings me back to you. Why did you come to slay me, human? Not that. I know you said it was for your village, but why hunt me down and fight me years after you knew you couldn't win? Don't lie to me. You knew you couldn't win from the second you saw me, perhaps even before. I'm sure you've heard the tales men tell of me, but even so, you never once tried to run. Every human I've ever fought over the years had one thing in common: confidence. They were sure they could defeat me, and that made them foolish. The only moment they realized they were going to die was a split second before they did. I find it interesting that you, weak as you are in comparison, had the strength to face me without the confidence. Even if that's its own sort of foolishness. So tell me, little human, why fight a losing battle? Now that's an answer I can appreciate. I admire a human who's willing to defend their pride to the last breath. I like you, human. You're amusing. I think I'm going to keep you. You heard me. I'm going to keep you. It's not very often I find a human who amuses me, and I've learned to appreciate them when I do. Besides, it's not as though you were planning to return to wherever you came from in the first place, right? You should be honored. Not many humans are worth a dragon's time, and even fewer are worth my time. I'll take good care of you, so you'd better be grateful. First things first, let's get you cleaned up, shall we? It wouldn't do for my newest treasure to be in such poor condition.